Loading snacks.
Yo, what it do, Loading Snacks Universe? Your boy Jokes is here, and for this WrestleMania 41 episode of the Finisher Podcast, we have a packed crowd here tonight. All the usual suspects. I got the homie Marcus, I got the homie Sin, I got the homies Michael and Ben here from the AwesomeMania Podcast. Gentlemen, how are we all doing tonight?
Well, judging by Ben, he's already chugging beer or something
No,
to get himself.
I drink everything out of this.
I mean, when he introduced you, you just started chugging out of there, and it's like, all right,
Yeah,
Ben's already in rare mode already at this point.
Libations all around for everybody.
Hey, who knows? With some of the topics we may be talking about on this episode, it may be needed. But like I said in the beginning, this is another episode of the Finisher Podcast. We're just here to talk things wrestling. And on this episode, as you can see by the banners all the way around, this one is WrestleMania 41 focused. We are here to talk all things about this show. We're not going to get too heavy into predictions on this one. We're going to be doing a little more questioning and feeling out the whole entire card, the show, a little different than what we would normally do. But make sure wherever you guys are either listening to it and watching us, we greatly appreciate it. Make sure hit the Beacons link. If you're listening, beacons.ai/loading snacks. It's where you can find everything Loading Snacks has to do. The dude Sin, I appreciate you joining because I know you got some anime stuff that you got to knock out.
Hey, you know, it is what it is. It's WrestleMania season.
Hey, listen,
Thank you for gracing us with your presence.
It's our 1 year anniversary.
Hey, look, sorry, I got a whole anime thing I got to take care of, but I bring you all up all the time because I'm always watching wrestling. So I'm like, we got to get out of here, y'all. It's time for Raw to start. Like. Gotta get ready. So yeah.
But gentlemen, I think it's about time we go ahead and we start talking about WrestleMania 41. Obviously, it's coming from Las Vegas, so a fitting place for WrestleMania. I feel like Las Vegas. This is, I think Ben, you probably would know this probably easy off that. Is this the second Mania in Vegas, or is this the third?
Last one was 9.
Yeah, I was like, so.
I just learned that too.
Well, it's the second one also because keep in mind the first time they're in Vegas, they literally just did a Peacock WWE documentary for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So
I think Vegas is fitting for WrestleMania, and within the new stadium too, things should be pretty elevated as far as the quality of things. But
it will be.
We'll see how things go. So let's start things out first.
Some of it will be quality, and then there'll be some of the matches on the card.
Valid. When I meant quality, I should say like production. The way things are going to be production-wise.
Yeah, production-wise, yeah.
Production-wise should be pretty good.
We're not talking about the card.
Yeah, I expect to see 5 drones just like cycling at all the time. At least 5, minimum.
There'll be drones. There definitely is going to be drones. But let's go ahead first, and let's just go ahead and right now, let's just rattle through the whole card. Now, obviously, we only have SmackDown to go, and absolutely we all are in agreement before this there's probably going to be an additional match that's going to be on there, but for now let's just go ahead and rattle off what we currently have as being the full card for both night 1 and night 2. So night 1, first thing we already have is should I say Americana Grande or should I just say Chad Gable in the match? I don't know which way to do it. Versus Rey Mysterio.
What? Both work.
Versus Rey Mysterio. We have the New Day versus the War Raiders for the Tag Team Championship. Jade Cargill is taking on Naomi. We have LA Knight, taking on Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship.
Yeah, I mean.
We have Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair for the Women's Championship. Biggest, which should be closing out the night, but it's not. Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. And then, of course, the main event of night 1, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. I kind of want to call that the custody of Paul Heyman match. I almost kind of feel like that's what probably should be.
I mean, they're close enough to actually just putting him, hanging him above the ring and turning it into a ladder match at this point.
Close enough to it. Just don't know if he's afraid of heights. And in night 2, we have AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. We have Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre in a Sin City street fight. We have the Women's Tag Team Championship between Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. And oh damn,
No, it's not. It's not.
No, I'm
Okay.
tripping.
Yeah.
I'm tripping. Oh god, it's been a long.
Oh
No,
yeah,
Raquel. Yes, it is.
It is
Sin.
Raquel.
Sin, stop, man. It's been a long day already. Versus Bailey and Lyra Valkyria.
Oh,
And then we have the triple threat for the Women's World Championship between Io Sky, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley. And then close the night out.
You're missing a match. You didn't say
Yo,
one
you
match.
totally skipped the fatal.
Oh,
four-way.
I did.
Fatal four-way,
I
yeah.
did. Hey, listen, it's been a long day, y'all. It's been a long day.
That's the theme of the night.
We have the fatal four-way match for the Intercontinental Championship between Penta, Finn Balor, Dom Mysterio, and Braun Breaker. And then closing out the night, the undisputed WWE Championship, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. That was a lot to rattle off all at one time. Normally we don't do it that way, but this was a little bit different. So we wanted to frame it a little bit differently than what we normally do. So
before we go any further,
uh-huh.
This background that's up here, which WrestleMania is this for?
It's for 41.
I know where you're going, Ben. And
What is Sasha Banks on?
Yeah, I haven't seen that the whole time.
Listen, this was sport. It came from Sports Kita. I grabbed it from them. So I think they did it as to be funny on there for it. I laughed, but I was like, whatever.
Some previously unknown definition of funny that I was unaware of.
But we want to just go ahead and rattle through the whole entire card. Because I wanted to start first with what are our overall thoughts of the cards for night 1 and night 2 as they currently stand. I'm going to open the floor up to whoever wants to start first.
I think they're both fine cards. I'm not going to say that they're like outstanding, amazing cards. I think they're definitely fine. I want to touch one point on one thing, and it's because we've been seeing this on social media a lot, where people have been kind of dogging on WWE because they're saying that the cards are the reason that the tickets are not selling for both nights of WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. That's not the reason. The reason is that one, it's Vegas. It's very expensive. If you've seen the prices for tickets, it's extremely
stupid. Yeah,
it's stupid expensive. Plus, you have people losing their jobs right now. You're having a potential recession on the way. So there's a lot of people who are not wanting to spend the money to go out to Vegas.
You're also getting a lot of international travel.
Yeah. So that's a big reason why, it's not selling as well as, like, say, last year's WrestleMania in Philadelphia. So it's not because of the cards. However, I will say this about the cards and ticket sales.
Because of the card.
Well, and that's the point I'm about to get to. The idea of not letting people know, especially now with a 2-night format, knowing what matches are happening what night with such short time also affects ticket sales in a way, because there are people who want to see specific matches, and if they buy tickets to, say, night 2 and those matches they wanted to see is night 1,
you're screwed.
Yeah, you're screwed in a way. So I think that's something that WWE should do better down the road for 2-night cards is, hey, maybe get some of these matches out 3 weeks in advance of what night they're going to be, instead of maybe a week and a half before, to help people with their these decisions that they have to make for going out to 2-night shows now, because Rumble's going to be possibly going to become a 2-night show. SummerSlam is going to be a 2-night show. Survivor Series could potentially become a 2-night show. So you let this be a learning thing for them. But going back to the thing about the card, I think they're fine cards. I don't think they're super spectacular for like a WrestleMania, but there's matches there that we're all going to like. There's matches there we're not going to like, and it's just
got a couple bathroom breaks on here.
Yeah.
What's a bathroom break for you, Sam?
The War Raiders and New Day for sure. Like I'm a believer of all the belts should be represented at WrestleMania up there. But if you had to make a choice between the SmackDown Tag Team Champions or the Raw ones, I'm going SmackDown all day. Yep. They're the only thing that's been built up in the tag team division when it comes to WWE. Just that SmackDown tag team storyline, they've been working that for months. Why not have Street Profits out there defending against Motor City Machine Guns or somebody? You know what I mean? Like, This has no build whatsoever, no build up. It's like, all right, we need to throw it on the card. So okay, so this is I care nothing for this match.
And
nothing against them, but
and the piggyback on Sin's thing, like with the SmackDown titles, I 100% agree with everything Sin said. Like there were rumors that we could have easily have had a 5-team type of match for the SmackDown tag team titles this weekend at WrestleMania because of the story that they've been building for like the last 3 months alone.
Yep.
You know, it's like, and to maybe them being relegated to SmackDown tomorrow night is kind of like a little bit of disservice.
It should be reversed.
Yeah, it really should be. It really should be. I agree with Sin.
I agree with that. Like the rumors had already been saying that their matches ended up going to be shifted to SmackDown, which I think is a disservice. Like even if we were still doing like pre-show matches, I do think that could have definitely still edged its way on. Definitely, there's probably a match on here that could have easily been a pre-show match that we could have made room for. That's it. Because let's be real here.
Chad Gable versus Rey Mysterio could have been one. But
Who?
You heard me very clear. Chad Gable versus
Chad
Rey
Gable's not in
Mysterio.
that match, sir.
I mean, it just so happens they had the same injuries on their hand, the tattoo. Like I don't know. Either somebody's just a fan of one another. I don't quite know yet. But
that could have been pre-show.
I definitely think that potential of a 5-way tag match, like that could have easily been a WrestleMania, and you could have added it could have been a ladder match. That could have easily been a ladder match,
and they would have cooked with it too.
I know they don't really want to do TLC because they want to still keep the premium live event thing for TLC, but I feel like this would have been the perfect placing to put that versus making it the whole entire PLE event for it. So I do think it's a little bit. I'm happy that the Street Profits were finally able to obtain the tag team championship. That was long overdue. I just think that they earned the right to be able to defend these belts on WrestleMania. So that is definitely one disservice I think that we're looking at.
If I may then pose a dissenting opinion, while I agree that the SmackDown tag team scene is much better built, there has to be a reason that this match is then on the WrestleMania card.
I'm with you. My fingers are crossed with something like that. A new tag team shows up or something.
I'm thinking it's Big E.
I was about to say that. I was going to say Big E. He goes heel. Majin Buu. Big E.
The whole storyline here is that the New Day are focusing on the neck damage of the War Raiders. And who has neck damage?
Big E.
Big E.
So he's going to come out and cost the New Day, or he's going to come out and help the New Day. If that doesn't happen, why the fuck is this match on the card?
I can agree with that. I can definitely go with that. Like,
there are other more egregious things on this card than the World Tag Team Championship being on it. There are much more egregious things.
Charlotte Flair?
Well, Charlotte Flair existing. The fact that in the first year of its existence, your women's intercontinental champion is chasing a different belt.
Yes.
And dare I say, pardon my French, the sheer fact that what might be the WWE's MVP over the last 18 months, Chelsea Green, isn't on the card.
That is That's fail.
A fucking crime.
Yes.
She
is cooking with that U.S. title. She is cooking
and
on a consistent basis.
I don't understand. Like, obviously, we still got SmackDown, so something could happen where she can make it to the card. Because, like, I don't know. It's just weird when you don't. If she ends up defending it on SmackDown, like,
like they're brand new titles. You should have them on WrestleMania.
Both of them. Like, the fact that you're doing it with both. Yes, Lyra is there, but
she needs to be in a one-on-one match or
100%
triple threat or something. Yeah.
And we've had this discussion before where it seemed like they still don't know what to do with the women's tag team championships.
They don't,
because we're doing the same thing with
these makeshift tag teams.
Tag teams. that, like, yes, they have chemistry or whatever, and they've had history, but it's like that doesn't necessarily mean they should just become.
It seems like they only have enough people to focus on one tag team division at a time, so they're focusing on SmackDown right now.
This women's tag team match isn't necessarily about the tag team titles. It's about the story between Lyra, Valkyria, and Bayley.
Yeah,
definitely.
Right, and the fact that when they lose, Bayley's going to lose her tits and murder Lyra Valkyria, hopefully, at some point. Maybe not necessarily on WrestleMania, but like, and that's just a problem to me. The fact that the Women's World Championship is a triple threat is an issue to me. That should be a one-on-one match. EO deserves that, in my opinion. And either of the opponents would have been good, but Bianca had a story waiting for her in Naomi and Jade. Why is she not involved? Like, Naomi, like, she's gone from screaming her tits off in an Elimination Chamber cube to not giving a fuck in a week.
Yeah, it was kind of like when Bianca got her so-called explanation from Naomi of "I did it for you," like Rikishi's "I did it for the Rock," essentially. When Jay came out and Bianca just could have at it, and that was the end of it. That was very disappointing, unless something happens to Bianca in the triple threat that involves Naomi or Jade in some form or fashion. Like, that's the only thing I can think of how they loop her back into it. Like, say Naomi comes out because Jade and Naomi are night 1, Bianca, Io, and Ripley are night 2. We could conceivably see maybe Naomi coming out and screwing Bianca in the triple threat, to continue that, to get her back into the storyline. But I do agree with Ben. It just didn't make sense to just have her just drop out of the storyline completely, like the way.
I think she'll trickle back to them after Mania, probably like Monday, like after SmackDown and the follow SmackDown and Raw.
Like, they could have just had Rhea Io, and this triple threat is just because. And the sad part is, I genuinely believe that there's a chance that Bianca's going to win it, because she's got this whole WrestleMania undefeated streak thing going on, and we know how WWE likes to monetize those.
I agree with that, because
she's not the right person to win that fight.
Nope, she's not.
It's interesting. Top Slam came back earlier this year, and for WrestleMania, for the first time for a PLE, they're doing the prediction pack. Or no, this is the second time they're doing the prediction packs. And you pick packs, and if your pick wins, you win like in-game currency and whatnot. For the triple threat, I picked Io Sky because I think she's the one who truly deserves the moment at Mania, because she did Bayley's service last year by dropping the title to Bayley last year, and it's her turn. And honestly, I agree with Ben that should be Ripley and Io one-on-one, because also that's the story that they were kind of building the last few months anyways on Raw.
Yeah,
because of the whole like little alliance that they had, and even
since before Survivor Series. They've been building that.
They'd been building that for the last several months, so it's like that was your match right there.
And I'll tell you, packed into the whole match.
I mean, but then the argument could be made that they've been building the whole Rhea versus Bianca.
No, listen, we know that we've been wanting to see that for a while.
You can do Rhea Bianca, but Rhea Bianca doesn't need the title because it involves Rhea and Bianca.
Easiest one-on-one match.
Yeah, you could do them at SummerSlam, right? You have the triple threat: Bianca, Naomi, and Jade set up for WrestleMania, right? It turns out that Bianca was manipulating Naomi into doing it. They both turn on Jade. On night 2, Bianca and Naomi cost Rhea. And then at SummerSlam, Rhea and Bianca collide. You can make these two still collide. That is a big match, sure.
They will eventually, because it is one of the biggest matches a lot of people want to see.
Yeah, it's just they could have done it one-on-one. Like, listen, when Rhea dropped that belt on that episode,
don't remind me of that fateful day.
I'm sorry. It was at that point, like, we knew that the triple threat was where we were going. Like, it was just because it was just.
There's no way you cannot have Rhea on a WrestleMania card.
It was just the weirdest. To me, it was just the weirdest drop to do it. Like don't get me wrong. I'm all for a surprise. Like, be like, wait, what? Like, I'm all for that, but it just didn't seem right. It just wasn't the right time to do it that way. You could have let Rhea just dominate the same way that she's been doing, and if she was going to drop it at Mania, cool, whatever.
I do like the story that Io Sky is the one that has Rhea's number.
Oh yeah, I'm not mad. Like, I'm not mad at it at all. I'm not mad at it at all. It just seems like the catalyst of how we ended up in this predicament just could have been a whole nother scenario.
And it's interesting too, because when you look at how a lot of this built up too, it's like Bianca wins Elimination Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Ripley drops the title to Io on the next Raw, the very next Raw. And then you get this thing, and I talked about this at the AwesomeMania panel at AwesomeCon, which we just dropped on YouTube, so check that out. Plug.
Shameless plug.
But and I mentioned this at the panel where it's like the way they're having Ripley is kind of like she's like the Shawn Michaels after Chris Benoit won the Rumble going in the WrestleMania 20.
Well, that's the other thing, right? This storyline is almost a carbon copy of the storyline they're telling in NXT right now with Trick Williams over Femi and Javon Davis. The difference being here, the person who's getting Chris Benoit is the person who should win the match. In NXT, the person who's getting Chris Benoit is a ripoff of Chris Bay.
I like that. I like that comparison between the two of them, but we got triple threat, so we're just gonna live with it and hope what happens afterwards we can live with it.
I'm pulling for. I know we're not doing predictions, but I am in fact pulling for Io.
Did you not see him? Did you not see what
ever since I mentioned the fact that Io's got Rhea's number, Sin's been like
he was all right.
because I know people know me well enough to know I'm such a Rhea stan, so they probably want to know how I feel about this match. I want to get it off of my chest and say it here. Yes, I do love the fact that Io has her number. I actually really, really like that about it. It brings some character depth to Rhea for me. So she's not so super powered out there, like she doesn't have a weakness, and that's Io. I actually really like that because I am a big Io fan as well. I think one of the things that has frustrated the most about Rhea's build-up with this is when she lost to Io. I don't know if y'all saw the promo she cut backstage about how vulnerable she felt and how hurt she was, like she doesn't have any friends, all that kind of stuff. I love that character development and direction for her. But then for the next week to come out and be all mad at Bianca, I was like, you had nothing to say about that last week. What the hell are y'all doing? No, why are y'all switching to this, her being super aggressive at Bianca now? Well, that's not what she said backstage last week after she lost. Like, I personally hated that.
I will say, since you brought it up, the person who deserves mad props in that entire storyline is Adam Pearce. Just coming out and having that promo of, this isn't how contract law works.
She's like, so what? I signed it. It is what it is.
Oh man, that was.
But I can honestly say, yes, I'm pulling for Rhea, but I think Io definitely should keep that title for a minute. She needs her run. She is well earned and deserved to have her run. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to her coming out with the title, but I'm not gonna be mad if Rhea's wearing it at the end of the day. So,
but like I'll put this out there: if they had gone with Io versus Ripley 1-on-1, I would have been 100% okay with Ripley defeating Io at Mania for the title, because that, as we've been talking about, that's the story about Io having Ripley's number and having that happen at Mania where Ripley finally gets that money.
That'll happen. I think that'll happen down the line at some point. Since that's out there now, and the ethos that Io just has her number, she can't beat Io. At some point, they'll come back around. So I know they're gonna be back in Perth this year. Maybe they do it there or something like that or whatever. But I can see it. Coming back around.
One other thing I will say is that I also like the fact, and this is like a redeeming thing for me for this whole triple threat thing, is I love how the fact that Io is being overlooked because it's been about Bianca and Ripley going like this.
I don't like the disrespect. I be feeling some type of way when they be
disrespect but the fact that Io is like, you see it bothering Io and she's taking action. I really love that. Like, as you said, for Ripley, like that character development, like this is a good way to kind of build up. Yeah, it's a great way to build up Io in a way of like, hey, they're ignoring her. They're counting her out completely in this match.
And she beat both of them in the ring cleanly within the past 6 months in great matches.
So like, I do like that fact, that portion of what they're doing with Io as well.
Dig it. So
can we just talk about Randy Orton already?
Listen, I was getting ready to do it. Listen, there's got to be a leeway. You got to hold on because I was about to bring it back for a second. See, look at you.
Let the man build his segue, bro.
As I was about to say, we're going to take it back because we were talking a little bit.
Well, we're not going to talk more about Chad Gable.
No, not there. No. Man. We were already talking a little bit about matches that are missing. People missing off the card entirely already. That is just disrespectful, whatever way you want to put it. But unfortunately, Kevin Owens, of course, having to go out, get neck surgery, completely removing him from the card. And now Randy Orton is in this place currently where he does not have a match at Mania. So now, Michael, the question is Randy going to have a match at Mania, or is he going to end up somehow just be back in catering and have a segment back there with somebody?
So I will say this. We know for a fact on SmackDown they're bringing back the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. And Orton is going to be in that match. So we do know that for SmackDown. I do think he's actually going to have a match at Mania, because as we looked at the cards earlier, and you can put the cards back up real quick as I bring this up, night 1 has 7 matches. Night 2 has 6. There's obviously going to, like, KO Orton was supposed to be night 2. So it's just a matter of what match is going to be put into night 2 with Orton. And obviously the thing that we've been hearing is that there's 3 options. It could be Nick Aldis. It could be Rusev, because he's now signed with the company. Or it could be Aleister Black, who is somebody that Orton has actually really wanted to work with.
And that's actually my hope. Like, I know they've been building the like we've seen it. We think it's Aleister. At least that's from what we're going off of.
I will say that Aleister is the wrong one to go with for Mania. It has to be Nick, because the story is with Aldis.
Now, I will give you that. It just doesn't seem like, now granted, for whatever reason, Nick is probably going to eat another RKO on Friday for some reason.
He has to get punted in the face, and we need a new GM.
No. He can't get punted yet. He can't get
punted.
Not
the GM, no.
If he gets punted, then that
you gotta make that punt. You gotta make that punt really worth it.
That's going to remove him. So unless Nick is going to take another RKO, and then they're going to set them up, so instead of Randy paying the fine is him having a match with Nick Aldis. I don't know. I would be cool if this was the match that got Nick Aldis back in the ring, even if it was just for a one-off type of thing. I think that could be a cool thing to have on the WrestleMania stage. I'm just a fan of Aleister. As much as he's not going to get the same pop that, like, say, Cody showing up at WrestleMania got on there, but I do think there would be a lot of fans that would be happy to see Aleister at least debuting back at WrestleMania. Now, obviously, him doing that, I don't think he's going to get that victory at Mania.
If he's not winning, don't bring him back.
And that's why I agree with the notion if it shouldn't be Aleister. Like, I'm an Aleister Black fan myself as well. I'm excited to see him come back, but he needs to win in his return match. It can't be a match like where he gets fed to Randy Orton so Randy Orton can have a match, kind of like what we saw with, more women getting fed to Mercedes Moné and AEW. So, like, I think Nick is the safe bet. I know everyone really wanted the Nick Aldis Adam Pearce wrestling match, but I think realistically, Nick Aldis Randy Orton would be the ideal situation here, right, for Orton's match.
Now, let's say this. Let's say it's not Nick Aldis. Let's take off the table the 3 that we have, like you just said, the Rusev, the Aleister, the Nick Aldis. if one of the three of them weren't involved in here, who would be the fitting person to now put at Randy Orton to give him a match?
Shinsuke Nakamura.
But the problem with Shinsuke is that it's and another wrestler that I like, but the problem is he hasn't been on TV. So it's like, who's been on TV but doesn't have a match on the card?
Solo.
Solo is somebody that they've kind of alluded at. Braun Strowman is
if he gets involved in the US title match as well.
Yeah, Braun Strowman, even though he's a face like Orton is, he's been on television recently. Doesn't have a match at Mania.
Carlito.
Nah, Carlito wouldn't work.
I'm just being stupid with that one. I was nowhere near serious with that one.
I mean, Solo. I will give Sin credit on that one for naming him because that's the one that they've kind of alluded to and hinted at since Owen got hurt. And it makes a little sense because also LA Knight and Orton have kind of aligned with each other a little bit since the Kevin Owens injury. So it could make sense, especially, if Solo does get involved in the US title match, on night one.
Only other thing I could think of, like, let's say it ends up becoming, let's say Randy he gets a match, but it becomes a throwaway match. Let's just say, like, this is just stupid. Like, I don't know what Tonga Loa's return timetable is.
June.
Do we care?
Hey, listen, I'm just being funny here. That maybe this is where, he's gonna come back. He's gonna try to step up to the plate.
And die.
He failed his partners in the cage at War Games. So he wants to come and try to redeem himself. So he's gonna try to take on Randy Orton. Like, I don't know, that could be a little.
Well, the problem with that is that Tonga Loa, from last I read, he's still at least another 2 months away from being even medically cleared to start hitting the ring. So,
all right, so hear me out.
Cool. What you got?
Hear me out. Randy Orton doesn't have a singles match.
Okay.
Randy Orton gets added to the US title match. And because you say he's been getting involved in the LA Knight story. And then the 7th match on night 2 is Chelsea Green's match.
Okay.
Because tonight she just annoys. Tomorrow night she just annoys Nick Aldis into giving her a match.
I actually would be all aboard for that.
and let's be honest, there are plenty of challengers for that US title. Like they and the number one person right now would be Zelina Vega because that's the story that they've been building right now. So even with Chelsea, like she's nagging Nick Aldis for a match at Mania, you can have Zelina even step in and go, listen, I've been doing everything I can to get a match with her, and she's been avoiding me at all costs. Give her to me at Mania as well. And that's another way that could be your 7th match as well, of Zelina versus Chelsea Green at Mania for the title.
Either way, I'm winning.
Right?
Right.
Not mad at that. The only other thing, like I would say, like that could be a Chelsea Green could have a match with some surprise return person.
And that's another way we get the U.S. women's title on the card.
No, 100%. That's 100%.
And we get Chelsea Green on the card, which
you get Chelsea.
Yes, agreed, Ben. Yes.
So, because typically at these Manias, I would say maybe with the exception of last year, we normally get like that one random like add-on match, even if it's not necessarily, a main story or anything like that. I could see Chelsea just being like, she's just going to issue an open challenge, kind of like going like the John Cena route.
Fight some random
celebrity or whatever it may be.
Nah, she doesn't need a random celebrity. Let her fight actual opponents.
It could be Zelina. Like, listen, she could.
He wanted to be Zelina so bad.
Listen, I know he does, but you know what? I wouldn't be mad at that if she issued the open challenge. Like, say, hey, she comes out of Mania. No match scheduled. Everyone has a why are you out
with
here?
Her secret Hervis.
And she just goes and she just issues that open challenge. I would be fine if she did it that way. To just say, she's issuing her United States Open because like that's typically how the U.S. title gets treated with just the open challenges on there for it. So I think that could be the interesting way to do it, give us the quick pause, and then it ends up being Zelina. So I don't think I would be mad at that, but I would definitely want Chelsea Green on the card. Like I think she's deserved it. She's earned it. The U.S. title just needs to be defended either way. So
hey, she does for that title what the Miz did to the Intercontinental Championship.
The other thing is if we do want Randy to have a singles match, Chad Gable doesn't have a match right now.
I like the fact that you're keeping it up. You're keeping it up, Ben.
Well, and actually, and somebody just mentioned his name. Who's also missing from this card? The Miz.
Yeah.
The Miz does
missing's
not
a strong word.
I don't consider him missing from the card, even at the least.
R-Truth doesn't have a match on the card either.
Well, R-Truth
is going to be there. No, let's stop there right there. R-Truth is going to be on screen in some shape or form at WrestleMania.
He'll be there.
I don't know exactly what.
Nah,
he gonna come in somebody's match. I think he's supposed to be there for whatever reason. It come out as Judgment Day or something. I don't know. R-Truth gonna be at WrestleMania in some shape and form.
Nah, he's gonna be. He has to intervene in the Cody John Cena match. He just has to.
Stop. You know what? Hey, listen. That would be.
Hey, what if R-Truth turns heel at WrestleMania? Oh, that would be.
He joins the new corporate joint that Rock's putting together.
No. What will happen is we'll finally get R-Truth with DIY and actual DX together at the same time, and him confusing both of them.
That would be funny.
Oh,
didn't that happen already? A year and a half ago.
Oh man,
but
all right, I dig that. So definitely, we're in agreement. We think Randy is going to be in here some shape or form, whether it is the singles match or getting thrown into like the United. We definitely think Randy's going to make the card. So I'm not.
It's just a matter of how.
He's rumored to be the first challenger for the winner of Night 2's main event. So he has to have something going on at Mania, surely.
Mm-hmm. Cool. All right, let's move on.
Maybe he comes out and he just RKO's everyone in the Intercontinental four-way match. He just comes out. That's how we get.
I genuinely thought you were going to say he comes out and he archives everyone in the women's tag team match.
No.
Listen. If it was 05 Randy, if we were still in that phase, I could potentially see you coming down there and actually doing that.
I mean, Orton's been hearing those voices. I mean, I could see him go in and just RKO everyone in that fatal four-way Intercontinental title match.
Here's a question: where are we at on the fatal four-way for the Intercontinental belt?
Hey, listen, I'm kind of in a place where I'm actually okay with whoever wins that match, but honestly, do think it's probably going to end up being Dom.
I think it'll be Dom, but I think Finn's the guy who needs the title run more than anything right now.
Finn hits the coup de grace. Dom throws him out of the ring. Pins the person he hit the coup de grace on. Finn on Raw. Finn murders Dominic Mysterio
and leaves Judgment Day.
And leaves the Judgment Day.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
because at this point now, like. Finn just doesn't fit the mold now with what it is they're trying to do now, and we've been seeing the writing on the wall for some time now.
Yeah, for months now. Yeah,
I'm not going to be upset if he ends up leaving out.
Everyone to choke out Dom every week.
and let's be honest, we don't have to worry too much about numbers games against Finn, because as soon as JD McDonough is healthy, he's going to be siding with Finn.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Maybe.
So he'll get a little bit of a numbers reprieve at that point, depending on how.
Also, think there may be some other people around that might side with Finn.
Mm-hmm. And on top of that, Dom keeps talking about also that the new member of Judgment Day in. So that could easily be shown during the Intercontinental title match, and that ends up being the way that Finn ends up losing. Is that they see whoever that is that comes in. Finn doesn't like it one bit.
Could be Penta. Maybe Dom finally got the Penta. We know he's been trying to recruit him, but
No,
it's not gonna. No, it's not gonna be.
Penta doesn't work, especially now that Ray Phoenix is in the mix.
There, it's not happening.
Because you know that there's a draft that's going to be happening, and they're going to get him.
So, given what Marcus just did, how many Zero Miedos are we going to see during the 4-way? I'm saying 20.
Nothing less than 45.
Yeah,
about 62.
Okay. How many times is he going to take his glove off?
Oh, at least 3 times. There's going to be, but each one's going to come off, and at least one's going to get put back on to be pulled back off.
But Ben, I will say this, because you and I did this when we went to AEW shows when Penta was there.
Yeah.
And we counted how many times he would do the Zero Miedo. He has done it. I will give him credit. He has done it less in WWE than he did in AEW. Where it seemed like so because like in AEW, it felt like every time he went to go do a big move, it was like he did the thing, and it's like, or just to try to taunt somebody. Whereas in WWE, it feels like he's reined it in a lot more because, they're saying, hey, like it's good to do it, but if you do it too much, it's going to lose all of its meaning. So, like, I will give him at least credit on that one.
Dig it. But yeah, but back to what you originally asked, Ben. Honestly, I'm not upset with anyone who wins the Intercontinental match. I think every single
I didn't ask that. Sin did.
Oh, that was Sin. My bad. I know you chimed in, but I wouldn't be upset with any of the 4 of them. If Braun retained, I'm still good with it. If any of the rest of them take the belt off of him, I'm cool with it because if they end up having a rematch on Raw, like I'm down for that one-on-one with any of them on there. He'll probably murder Dom if Dom ends up getting it back and doing it again.
If Dom wins at Finn's expense, Finn is going to murder Dom worse than Drew McIntyre is going to murder Damian Priest.
I don't have him murdering Priest like that. I think it's gonna be a great match. I think it's gonna be a murder.
They have fucked up.
Yeah, because Damian, I don't know. I feel like Drew has been on, like, they have molded Drew to be like this guy. I'm going to take whatever's your most precious thing, and I'm just going to use it against you. And then that's how they draw up all of the stories now. It's just like, use what you like the most, love the most, against you.
Dig it. We'll see how it goes.
Even if you have to go attack Rhea in this match.
Dig it. So now let's go for a hard one. And I'm just gonna, we're not even gonna break this down by night 1 and night 2. What is going to be the standout match for Mania 41? Doesn't matter which night. Just one.
I will say for me, the match that I care the most about, and Ben knows this, that's probably why he's laughing, is the Reigns Punk Rollins match. But I could legitimately see, and I have the card pulled up in front of me so I can just kind of refresh my memory. I could see AJ Styles versus Logan Paul being a show stealer. I really can see that one being a show stealer with Styles and Logan Paul.
Yeah, they're both extremely talented. We know Logan's going to try to do something
crazy.
Clickbait worthy.
AJ doesn't style clash Logan out of, like, on the apron.
You gonna turn it right? What are they doing? For me, I got Gunther and Jay. Just with the excitement around Jay. I see what's in your thing, and I know you hate it, Ben, but whatever. If that boy wins that belt, do you know how electric that place is going to go off? Like,
hey, listen,
it's going to be ridiculous.
If he doesn't win that belt, do you know how electric is going to be in that stadium?
His entrance is going to be electric. Like, it's going to be all the way around. It's going to be crazy.
And even if he wins, if John Cena actually breaks the streak, it will be eclipsed.
You mean breaks the record?
Yeah.
Well, listen, that's happening.
The question that we were posed was which will be the standout match, not which do we think will be the best match on the card.
Yeah, I'm sticking with mine, Jay and Gunther.
I think the standout match on the card,
Chelsea Green.
If she makes it a card, I'm not against that.
I agree with Sin. Yeah. Will be Gunther versus Jey Uso. because it will be the only one that I don't actually care about. I couldn't give less of a fuck if I tried.
I'm here.
Let's
go. I don't know which one I'm gonna rock that day, but I'm here for it all day.
My man is
Let's go.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Sure, go ahead.
When was the last time a Royal Rumble winner did not main event WrestleMania?
I don't know, and that's one of the things I can't stand about this WrestleMania. I mentioned the joke.
WrestleMania 18. In 2018.
The fact that they're not main eventing night one, I think is just wrong. Like, I get it.
That was the one
Punk
that Shinsuke won, right?
Punk is this, their names. I get it, so I know why they're headlining it, but it should be Jay and Gunther headlining night one.
100%.
Yeah.
No, they definitely should. That championship, they should absolutely be closing it out. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, yes, I get it. Seth, Roman, Punk, three biggest names. Like I get it. But there have definitely been WrestleMania cards where you have had like your biggest one wrestler, whoever you had, that necessarily didn't make it into the main event.
Mm-hmm.
But that main championship got defended. Now, granted, some older. If we take it way back, we didn't have to worry about having two main championships that would have to be defeated, let alone two-night event
8
that was
minutes
going to be on there for it. Normally, if that was, like, when we only had the one night, the WWE Championship, normally it was the one that got defended in the main event, and then the World Heavyweight was somewhere, like, in the middle. But there was a point in time that they let them be back-to-back on there.
When do you think was the last time that a person went from having the worst match on a WrestleMania card to being in the World Championship match?
Ooh.
That I can't answer, so I gotta leave it up to you.
Never happened. The reason why this match should not be headlining WrestleMania is this match shouldn't be this match. I'm sorry. Jay should not be in this match.
Why not?
Because he's not good. He's not earned this.
I don't know.
How did he not win? He won the Royal Rumble. How did he not earn it?
I don't think he won the Royal Rumble win.
Oh, so okay, so whatever.
I don't know. I think.
I don't know how you got that conclusion, but
he held the Intercontinental Championship for a week.
He still held it.
Hey, listen,
some people can't even say that.
And by that rationale, Braun Breaker should be in the main event.
But he's not. He didn't win the Royal Rumble.
But he beat Jey Uso.
But he didn't win the Royal Rumble. Yes. But he didn't win the Royal Rumble. That's the whole point of the Royal Rumble. The winner of it goes to WrestleMania. Jay won it. He deserves it.
And that's how it's billed. You get to be the main event of WrestleMania.
Yes.
That's the whole point.
No. You get to challenge for your choice of titles at WrestleMania.
Yes.
Nah, but then they always say you're going to main event the WrestleMania. That's how.
That's not in the stipulation. They just assume that because you are challenging for a world title.
And to piggyback on the thing that Ben said, if you pay attention to going into the Rumble, depending on the year, sometimes they don't bill it as getting the main event, is just getting a title shot at Mania.
The story at the Rumble wasn't Jey Uso winning. The story at the Rumble was Cena losing, which is what caused him to make the actions he did at Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. And also keep this in mind. Like, obviously 2018 was Shinsuke Nakamura as the Rumble winner. He did not main event WrestleMania. Also,
year before that, Randy Orton.
Yeah, but also
with
keep this in
mind with Bray for the world title.
Yeah, and keep in mind, you had WrestleMania 22. Rey Mysterio was the Rumble winner, and he was put into a triple threat match that was earlier in the card, not at the main event. The only time that you may have seen a match where the Rumble winner got the main event and it should not have main evented, truthfully, would be WrestleMania 18 when you had Triple H versus Chris Jericho main event.
Yep.
And the match before them was The Rock versus Hulk Hogan. And that was the match that should have ended the night. You know, because there are
small disagreement. WrestleMania 30. Because the winner of the Royal Rumble that year was Batista, who was in the match to was he in the main event or was he in the first match?
He was in the main.
He was in the main event because
because
Daniel Bryan had to go through Triple H, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's a question I got.
That's my fault. I'm getting that the wrong way around.
Here's a question I have for the people with the knowledge. Did anybody have as much aura around them like Jay has right now going out of Royal Rumble into WrestleMania?
Plenty.
Yeah. But there's so many moments. You can do John Cena's return from his torn bicep, pectoral.
Rey Mysterio getting it pretty much after Eddie passed away.
Everything Sami Zayn did 2 years ago, but they didn't let him win the Royal Rumble. You can go back to Daniel Bryan losing to Batista. You can go all the way back to the original time that Batista came back and threw Roman Reigns out. Everyone was behind Roman Reigns at that time, and they put Batista over him.
I think that's what caused the whole Daniel Bryan
what
thing.
You aren't getting, what you are getting with Jay that you aren't necessarily getting with a lot of them is what you got with Daniel Bryan, which is a visible thing that the crowd does. Because Daniel Bryan had the points, and Jay's got this, right? This entire story is so that they can get an arena of 60,000 people, however many it is, doing this, and put it in video reels forever. The thing you're getting with Jay is the crowd motion, right? I guarantee you, yes, there's a little bit of a reward for Jay because of all the work he did during the pandemic to get Roman over. Sure. Don't get me wrong. Fine. I guarantee you that 90% of them setting this match up is so they can get an 80,000 person stadium doing this and put it in every video reel from now to the end of time. Because it's the same thing that they got when Daniel Bryan was in the cage doing this and everyone in the crowd is doing it. It's in every hype package now.
Definitely so. That definitely.
And those are things that they always look at. I remember there was a time. Remember Sin Cara? Remember
the original?
Which one?
The original one.
Can we not though? Can we not go down this?
No. It's an important point though because it goes off of what Ben just said. You know, Ben said like the visceral imagery of like everyone going like this, doing the yeeting, the yes chants and stuff like that. The original plan for Sin Cara,
the Fandango.
Yeah, the Fandango. The original plan for Sin Cara was to build him up so they could have Sin Cara versus Rey Mysterio Mania, and the idea was to give everyone in the arena either Sin Cara or Rey Mysterio mask, so everyone in the arena could have a luchador mask on for the match. That was something that was actually planned, and then the original Sin Cara kind of shit the bed in multiple areas. So, you know, so it's like, because again, that's a visceral thing. It's like, imagine seeing an entire crowd invested in like that way. And that one was just one that never panned out.
And so, I think the
only difference is people are going to pay for glasses and yeet phones versus getting free handouts.
Yeah. Also, I think the build for this match especially could have done more to elevate Jay. Jay wasn't even the most important person in his own build to WrestleMania. His brother was the most important person when he literally died. Like, Gunther murdered that man.
But that has been Jay's motivation since the beginning. So
I can agree with from all the clips I've seen from all that stuff. Like,
even going to the beginning, the formation of him joining the Bloodline, it's all because of Jimmy. Like, Jimmy is the central focus for Jay's story.
I agree, which is why this needed to be different.
Well, I think they tried to go different, but Gunther wasn't really hitting the marks in a way. Like, I noticed that a little bit, and then once Jimmy got involved, you can tell that it kind of
shifted around the world.
Yeah, it kind of shifted a little bit, you know, once Jimmy got involved. So I think honestly they were probably trying to do it without Jimmy, and
Why
Gunther and Jay
Gunther
weren't really
wasn't hitting the marks.
like with promos and stuff like that. Like
he was murdering Jay on the microphone.
Kind of was though.
That's not wrong.
Every time they had a promo battle, Gunther murdered him.
It didn't switch over until Jimmy got involved.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I might have it.
The sheer fact that Gunther has beaten Jay 4 times in the last 6 months for the world title or some match.
Yeah,
you need to give me a reason
to care
to care about Jay coming back, right? And the only way they were able to, Jay wasn't able to do that on his own.
Yeah, I'm actually, and I will admit, I actually had it reversed. It was Jay who wasn't hitting the marks on the promos, not Gunther. So that I'm taking that one back and noting that I made that mistake on that.
And it's also because like it is a lot of pressure.
Oh yeah.
And maybe it was just like, okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna reset this a bit, take it back. We're gonna bring in Jimmy, take some time, get your thoughts together. Go hit your promo. And then that's what he did. Now we have good promos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dig it.
There is one last thing I would like to talk about.
Go for it.
The absence of both John Cena and Cody Rhodes on the Go Home edition of Raw. Did that seem a little weird to anyone else?
Given how Cody is technically a SmackDown superstar and the WWE title is a SmackDown title, no, it doesn't.
Except every other promo that Cena and Cody have cut has been on Raw.
I know but
that's what Netflix is. That's why.
But because that's the funny
contractually required to be on Netflix during those over the sea shows.
Well, the funny thing is though is that like when you look at it, like Ben, you brought up the fact like a lot of the promos for Cena Cena and Cody have been on Raw. You know, you're looking at Punk and Rollins, who are and technically Roman. They're technically Raw superstars, and they've been doing everything on SmackDown. So it's a very interesting way of like how
except that the last few weeks.
Technically, Roman is a free agent.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
the bottom line is the build for this Cody Cena match has been shit.
I was gonna say lackluster.
Yeah, that'll do.
I mean, let's be honest.
Like, where has The Rock been?
They haven't even mentioned The Rock since the thing at Elimination Chamber.
Because you gotta wait for WrestleMania before you see him again.
But at least mention his name.
Yeah,
like that's the problem. The only person who said his name is CM Punk. CM Punk's not even in that match.
And that was like literally the Raw after Elimination Chamber.
Punk went a whole promo on.
Like Cena hasn't mentioned. Like Cena hasn't mentioned The Rock at all. Cody hasn't mentioned The Rock at all, and they're the two guys who were in the storyline with The Rock, and it's
and Travis Scott.
Yeah, well,
Travis Scott is Travis Scott, so not really necessary to know.
Apparently, according to
something to y'all.
What?
When I saw him come out, I had to Google who the fuck is Travis Scott.
Right.
Well, and apparently
it's okay. It's understandable.
And apparently,
thank you, Marcus.
because we're going through the, and apparently,
hey, Joe, can you switch people around real quick?
Where do you need?
Just so it's even. I don't care. Just put one of us somewhere. Just put someone take my spot. Just switch it.
I'll take your spot. You don't want to be close to Ben. You scared Ben gonna jump up there and grab you and choke you?
No, I meant like because never mind. Afterwards,
no, go ahead.
You're going back.
But the thing I was gonna say was that apparently because obviously right now
might have been being racist.
But the thing is that the press rounds are going on right now with like Triple H and all the others doing the press rounds. And Triple H did say that apparently Travis Scott is going to be involved in some sort of fashion this weekend at WrestleMania. And it's like
his song is the theme of WrestleMania. Like, of course, he's gonna be involved somehow.
Well,
Is
I
it?
think he's
No, it's not.
no,
Fiend,
No, it's
yeah.
the weekend.
no, it's the
It's-
weekend.
Well, they've been
Weekend.
using the Fiend to build up for it, which is Travis Scott.
Fiend,
song.
yeah, they've been using it to build it
Yeah.
up, but
So
yeah,
now his music is a part of it still.
But no, like he's actually going to get physically involved. But
Yeah,
my
we saw slap the shit out of Cody.
listen.
my response to this is this: please no, just show up, do your thing backstage. Don't get involved in any matches.
I'm 100% with you on that. No, just sit there and just yeet or do whatever you do, smoke, whatever. Like, don't.
No, he's
Light
getting
stage.
involved. I'm gonna tell you
He
right
is.
now, the Cena Cody match is gonna turn into
A shit show.
Roman Cody at Mania last year. Like everybody, like the Rock probably there's a chance that maybe he'll show up, but it's gonna have shenanigans beyond belief. Like the Cena thing was gonna be definitely the last thing I wanted to bring up. I'm on the wagon that Cena is getting his 17th championship. It is happening at 41 because they've also Cena has added a. We already knew he was going to be with us for the whole, at least a good chunks through the rest of the year, but he has added a significant amount of dates coming out of Mania. So definitely we'll be seeing his face with that championship almost. I don't want to say on a constant weekly basis. I don't think he's going to pull the super disappear act. Not intentional really, but I do think we'll see him run. But I do think he's going to get that 17th win. And then this is going to send Cody down a different path where technically, I mean, he got that story finished.
He's got a new story to finish now.
And so technically he won't be going after the final boss. Because unless he's gonna end up challenging for that people's championship.
He better not.
I'm gonna be honest here, real quick. There are two people who probably should not win this weekend, and that's Charlotte Flair,
agreed,
and John Cena. But both are going to win.
Nah, Cena one definitely don't agree. Charlotte, yeah, even though we know she's gonna win.
I mean, I'm gonna fight against the Charlotte one because she does not need it.
I'd argue there's.
I like Cody, but
this weekend.
I kind of want John Cena to be a 17-time champion because I've been invested for so long. Like,
if they do all of this and then Cena doesn't win, you run the risk of the crowd turning on Cody.
That's very valid.
Because you'll then be at Cody wins level of annoyance.
And I'm going to be honest. I'm going to go back to the Top Slam thing. I did pick Cena to win because I think that's what's going to be. But I'm also going to echo a sentiment that many have been hearing the last few weeks, not in the wrestling world, but in the hockey world, of records are meant to be broken. And obviously, I'm referencing to Alex Ovechkin breaking the all-time goal-scoring record.
Mark the record 1 hour 3 minutes before hockey was
To be fair, I knew he was going to bring it up. There was a whole video package with Cody in it about him breaking the record.
Cody was part of the congratulatory video package to Ovechkin, but the thing is that in the essence of the same thing with Cena with the 17. Like, this is a record that is meant to be broken eventually. And as much as I don't want to see Cena win, I do agree with the notion that if you're going to do it, it has to be this weekend at WrestleMania. Because the SummerSlam one wouldn't work.
Yeah.
No. If you're going to do this, Mania is the perfect place to do it.
SummerSlam would be the time maybe for him to drop it, though.
Yes.
Okay, I can agree with that, yeah.
Okay. And we'll see.
I could see him winning it now, losing it SummerSlam, and then somehow getting an 18th off of a fluke.
No.
Nah, I don't think we'll see the. I don't think
when he drops it, he drops it.
He wins at WrestleMania. He loses it at SummerSlam by being accidentally costed by The Rock, which leads us to Survivor Series, Cena versus The Rock 3, and that's the end.
It was supposed to be once in a lifetime.
Yep. And then they did it the very next year and fucked it all up. But they are at 1-1 right now. They need it. They're going to have a rubber match. And if this isn't leading to The Rock and Cena having a match, what the fuck are we doing?
Rock versus Roman.
That will be at WrestleMania next year.
Yeah, at this point now, that's probably aiming for Mania next year. That we knew that was already supposed to be.
Rock is not wrestling on any show but Mania.
Yeah.
If you think so, then and if he does, I'll be very
SummerSlam
surprised.
would be the closest biggest other show, but
Yeah.
no.
Well, no, I would say Survivor Series could be one just simply for the
One of
fact
the big
that,
four.
Well, because of
Well,
the
Survivor
fact
Series where he debuted.
well, and not only that, but the other thing is that if you do Cena Rock at Survivor Series, it makes a lot more sense too, given the fact that there is no more WrestleManias for John Cena after this year.
Yep.
So you have to have Rock Cena at like a Survivor Series instead, you know, or at one of the Saudi Arabia or there's going to be one Saudi Arabia,
one of the big
show,
four.
or you do it there because that's where a lot of the money's going to be too.
Honestly, that's probably where it would end
in
up
Riyadh.
happening at. Yeah, definitely as one of the bigger matches to sell. That would be the one. They probably are already trying to bargain to get that or something similar to it on there for it. But yeah, no, Cena's taking 17 at Mania, and the crazy part is, you know, he's gonna shit on the fans, even though we know everyone is going to cheer when he gets that victory. I'm ready to hear that promo after Mania goes off on what he says. But
go watch Peacemaker season 2.
Yeah.
I mean, don't forget, John Cena did threaten to win the title and then just never come back too.
Hey, he gonna try the punk thing, and then he gonna come back and he actually gonna have different music. He said he wasn't gonna do it, but then he gonna come back. He'll have
a different attire and everything.
You know, he's bringing back the spinner belt, right?
Listen, it would be a miss if they did not do that.
Now, but even he said, like, he's not like. I just made it because like we needed to sell more belts. Like,
and then it became like a 10-year thing.
Hey, it is what it is, but I dig it. So WrestleMania 41 definitely is going to be an interesting show. I'm hoping we get to see some of these people that we talked about that have not made the card possibly be slid in and made matches on the card. But I think we're looking at having a good show. I definitely think we're going to have a good show. There's going to be a few matches I think that we could have easily swapped out with a few other options on there for it, but I'm good with what we are getting for WrestleMania 41. At this point now, we just got to get to the weekend and just have a good time and enjoy the show.
I think we've been spoiled over the last couple of years with like long-term building and storylines and knowing what's coming ahead, like way ahead of time. And I think the fact that this year isn't built like a year ahead of time, people are like, oh, it's just one of the worst built WrestleManias of all time.
No.
Not as bad as you think it might have been. No. Just not as good as the last couple of years, you know. And I think all of the matches have an opportunity to show out. Agreed. Also, Naomi's gonna die.
I mean, I definitely agree with what Ben said. It's like I said at the very beginning of this when you asked the question of what do you think of the card, you know, for WrestleMania as a whole, and I said it's a fine card. I agree. There's some swap outs that could be made, but I'm not upset about this. And honestly, I think the fact that we didn't have any super long-term storytelling going into this Mania is in a way a little refreshing because it's giving us new, different things this year compared to the last couple of years where we knew what was going to be coming up.
And plus, that makes it easier resets. Like once we get out of Mania, we hit Raw and SmackDown. You got an easier way to reset it. Obviously, at least a couple of these matches we're gonna see rematches between Raw and SmackDown. It is what it is. That's what they do.
And we know Backlash is the
WrestleMania Backlash. How
exactly.
How they advertising it now. So any
of
that
between now and Backlash, we can tie up everything that's happened and begin anew. Yeah.
What was the other one? Vengeance Day.
Vengeance Day was NXT.
That's NXT.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying before it was NXT. It was
Vengeance Day was just an old WWE.
Sometimes it was just Vengeance.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the thing. It's like, you know, and let's also be brutally honest here. And this is at least what I've been seeing in my feeds is that the majority of the people who are constantly crapping on this card are like the tribal AEW marks out there. I haven't seen a lot of people like WWE wise going, oh, this card sucks, blah, blah, blah. I've seen it mostly from more of the tribalistic side of things. So it's a fine card. Just enjoy the weekend of wrestling that we're about to get.
Card is solid.
Like we haven't even like let's not forget we also got NXT Stand and Deliver this weekend too. Like there's a lot of like TNA's got some stuff going on. There's a lot of great independent wrestling happening this weekend. There is so much great wrestling. Just enjoy it all, or as much as you can.
I would say you try to. There's a lot. But
I mean, they're doing the Hall of Fame at 1 a.m. for crying out loud.
Jacob Fatu.
Hall of Fame will be.
Who said what about where?
I said, when in doubt, acknowledge your tribal chief, Jacob Fatu.
I mean, honestly, that probably is going to be a thing sooner than
Didn't
later.
Roman win the Ulafala back?
Yes.
No, it's with Donald Trump.
That's true.
Yeah, that kind of is true now. So
that's some bullshit.
Mania next year. But gentlemen, thank you for having this definitely WrestleMania discussion here. A little bit different than the normal, and I think it went pretty good. For you guys out there watching and listening, let us know, what do you think about this year's WrestleMania? How does the card stack up? Some of the questions that we asked: is Randy going to get a match at Mania? Is Chelsea Green going to get a match at WrestleMania? It's like find out next episode of Dragon Ball Z. It's almost on it for it. But let us know in the comments.
Does Zelina Vega ever win another title?
Hopefully not.
Does Zelina Vega win a match? I mean, technically she did win a match, but I can't say that.
I feel you, Jokes. I feel where you're going with that.
When's the next PLE in Puerto Rico?
Right.
That'll be it.
No, she lost the last one she had in Puerto Rico. She got dog walked.
Yeah, but you got to win going into it, right?
Yeah.
But let us know your thoughts on WrestleMania 41 as a whole, and then after everything is said and done, I'm pretty sure we're gonna come back and do at least a little bit of a post follow up to WrestleMania. I'm sure there's definitely gonna be some things that are gonna need to be talked about on there for it.
For sure.
Other than
you might
that,
hear us talk about some of it live if you jump into Discord
on night 2.
Ooh.
But hey, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead. Any other final words before we go ahead and jump on out of here?
Same thing I always say at the end of anything I do. As much as I laugh and joke, I try to say at the end of everything I do, as much as I laugh and joke with these guys, to quote one of the best football, or as you guys call it, soccer coaches of all time, be curious, not judgmental. That's the great Ted Lasso. If you like a style of wrestling and other people don't yuck their yum. Everyone has something they like in wrestling. And if they like it and you don't think you do, try watching it. You might find something else you like. Don't be tribal.
I like that saying. Well, let's go ahead and wrap things up. Ben and Mike, I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and do your thing first before I give this dude Marcus the final word out of here.
All right. Well, with that, and don't forget, Marcus, I have something I have to say right after Ben does. So don't jump the shark.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was waiting for you to finish because Joe teed you up. So I was waiting.
Marcus, feel free to cut him off. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. But anyways, Ben and I, we are AwesomeMania, and as always, Ben, take us out.
It's been an awesome time here on the 1 year anniversary of Awesome Snacks and the 1 year anniversary of the Bullet Club Ahmed. So we will leave you, as we always do, with the words of the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, by saying, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and all of those beyond that spectrum, please be excellent to each other and party on, my friends.
And until next time, we will see you ringside.
Marcus?
Wait. And just because your back is against the ropes doesn't mean you can't move forward. And with that, we're out. Toodles and loose.
I legitimately thought Marcus was going to start.
Loading snacks.